Hello everyone, 1986 here, and I'm going to share with you today my collection of Benchmade Balisongs. So let's get started, shall we? First up, we have a Benchmade 41MC. The 41 is a kukri style blade. Blade steel is D2. MC stands for modified clip. There is our clip on the bite handle. This is a limited edition. Run number is not designated. Handle material is investment cast titanium. Now this is important because a lot of newbies to this hobby get this wrong. They think these are machined. They're not. They're cast. They're cast using a method called investment casting. There are plenty of videos online explaining exactly what that is. But if we examine the handles here, you can see there are the Zen pins. There's the tab on the tang that the Zen pins close on. But here we have tang pin cups when there is no tang pin. And the reason, of course, is these handles were cast to a master pattern that was originally produced for a tang pin balisong. And because this is a limited edition, and because the tang pin cups don't affect functionality in any way, there was no reason to create a new master pattern to cast handles without tang pin cups. 41MC. Next, we have the 41SS. Same blade steel, Zen pins, but in this case the handles are investment cast stainless steel. This model does not have a pocket clip on it. This is a limited edition. Run, again, is not designated. Now we move into the 42s with the 42C, one of the earlier 42 special editions. 42C was the first 4X to feature the pocket clip. Blade steel here is 440C, handles are titanium. This is a limited edition. This is number 31 out of a run of 100 pieces. Next, the 42MC, the second MC in the series. Blade steel on this one is again 440C, handles are titanium. There's your pocket clip. This is a limited edition. Run is not designated. Next, the 42SMC, just a 42MC with a serrated blade. Pocket clip, titanium handles, 440C blade, limited edition. Next, we have the 42SS. 42SS has investment cast stainless steel handles, Zen pins, right there in the handles. Blade steel on this one is D2. Now this one is unusual because this is a prototype marked April of 2003. Ordinarily, the 42SS was a run of 500 pieces. Next, we have the 42SS01, which is basically just a 42SS with a pocket clip and a much more limited run. This is number 40 out of 50. Stainless steel handles, D2 steel blade, same thing, but a much rarer special edition. Next, we have the 42400. 42400 has all the same features as the 42SS01, pocket clip, Zen pins, your D2 steel blade, but the handles on this one are titanium, so it's much lighter than the 42SS01. This is a limited run of 125. This is number 83. There are not actually 125 of these in existence. I believe only 110 ended up leaving the factory. Some of the blades had to be scrapped in production. Next, the 4201, one of my personal favorites. Weehawk blade in S30V steel with a boron carbide top coat. Handles on this are machined aluminum. So this knife is extremely light. The aluminum has been bead blasted and anodized for a nice matte gray finish. We have these picture framed inlays, and I really like these. I much prefer them to the dovetailed inlays on other balisongs. These are black G10. G10 is a mixture of fiberglass and plastic. All the hardware on the handles has been given a blackout treatment. This is a limited run of 100 pieces. This is number 100 of 100. Next, the rarest 42. This is the 42DM09, which was a very, very limited special edition released in 2002. There are only 25 of these in existence. This is number 20 of 25. Titanium handles, spring latch, but we have this very nice Devon Thomas Raindrop Damascus steel blade. I love Damascus steel, and I particularly love this Damascus steel. And This is one of my favorites because most people simply haven't heard of it. It's extremely rare, very hard to come by. Next, we have a 43 MC. 43 is a clip point bowie blade, sometimes called a Culver bowie for Vance Culver, the designer at Benchmade who created it. Handles are titanium. There's your pocket clip. Now this one is slightly different. It doesn't say limited edition on the blade, and the reason for that is the MCs came out in batches. The first batches were released directly through Benchmade, and they did not say limited edition on the blade. The next batches were released through factory-authorized retailers, and they did say limited edition on the blade, so that's the distinction if you ever get an MC that doesn't say limited edition on it. Next, we have the 43DM, one of the most sought-after special editions. This is a tight twist pattern Damascus steel with these wonderful machined stainless steel handles. This is one of the models that has machined handles. They're much thicker, much heavier, much more rounded on the ends. They have this latch. This was originally just called the spring latch. Collectors nowadays refer to it as the fancy latch. It has a square skeletonized post instead of the traditional simple tapering latch. 43DM is a run of 100 pieces. This is number 18 of 100. Next, we have the 43401. Another extremely sought-after special edition. Now the story with this one is interesting. Benchmade had a lot of these handles left over from earlier runs, specifically the old schools, which we'll get to momentarily. They didn't know what to do with them. They could scrap them, or they could produce a new special edition to use them up. There was a man at Benchmade named Rick Thatch, who was a genius when it came to programming CNC machines, and he programmed a high-hollow recurve bowie out of a piece of 1/8 inch thick S30V. Pretty amazing. The blade is absolutely gorgeous. This is one of my personal favorites again. There were originally supposed to be 100 of these. I believe only 92 ended up leaving the factory. This was produced especially for an outfit called EDC Knives, which is an awesome website. Check it out. This is a latchless model, which is unusual for Benchmade. Oh yes, this is number 31. Next, we have a Benchmade 44. 44 is one of the old school Balisongs. This came out in 1994. We have investment cast stainless steel handles with hidden hardware. This was referred to as the deluxe finish back in the day. We have this big beefy Tanto blade. I don't know what the steel is. I think it's actually a Swedish steel. Now the drawbacks to the old schools are, of course, the hidden hardware will show up if you use it a lot, and there are no latch gates. So the T-latch and the blade are free to interact with each other to the detriment of both, but I'm a collector. I don't use them or flip them. I simply parade them in front of the camera. 44. Next we have the Benchmade 45. This was actually the first 4X Balisong released in 1993. We have a classic style Weehawk on the same deluxe finish stainless steel handles. Again, no latch gates on these. But I really like the look of the old classic Weehawk with a thinner, shallower swedge. And the tang stamps on these are actually stamps. They're not laser etched. Next we have a 45C. Now this is interesting. 45C was a special edition produced right before the standard 45 came out. This has machined handles. There were 150 of these produced. And the handles are machined to the same pattern as the 43DM. Well, I should actually say the 43DM and all the other Balisongs that have handles like it were machined to the same pattern as the 45C. Same rounding on the ends. I mean, these are a product of their time. Obviously, they have 7 holes, instead of 6, and the hidden hardware instead of the exposed adjustable hardware, but the genealogy is unmistakable. 45C. Next, we have the Benchmade 46s. This is a 46MC. Blade steel on this one is D2. This is one of the later limited edition batches. Now we have a pair. The first one here is called the 46 Black 600. The entire knife has been given a blackout treatment. The countersinking on the holes has been anodized a brilliant blue. This has a pocket clip. Blade steel on this is D2, and that's the distinction. This was a run of 85 pieces. The first 25 were called 46 Black 600, and they have D2 steel. This is number 16. The subsequent 60 knives were called the 46 Black 601. Everything from 26 through 85. And they have 440C steel instead of D2, and this is number 38. Next we have the 46 DM09. The DM09s were a series of 3 knives with this wonderful Devon Thomas Raindrop Damascus. This is also number 20 out of 25. Next, we have the rarest and most valuable Benchmade Balisong ever created. This is the Benchmade Gold Class 46DM, released around, I believe, 2005, October of 2005. And this is about as good as production Balisongs get, and I would put it up against most any custom. The inlays here are a double picture frame. The outer frame is titanium G10, which has a mixture of black and silver fibers to give it that speckled effect. The inner inlay is a perfect cutout of mother of pearl, and this is only possible because G10 and mother of pearl are dimensionally stable. They don't really have significant expansion coefficients with temperature. Otherwise, the mother of pearl would crack. The handles are milled stainless steel and polished. All the hardware is polished. The latch actually has a 4-carat ice blue topaz set into the head. Blade steel is Devon Thomas Raindrop Damascus, again with a darker etch than the DM09 series. This is number 8 out of a run of 11 pieces. There are 11 of these in the entire world, and it's just about as good as production pieces get. Next, we have the 47 MC. 47 is a diamond point tanto blade, titanium handles, pocket clip. This one is another of the factory direct releases, does not say limited edition on the blade. Blade steel is 154 cm. Now we have a bit of an oddball. Some people might be thinking, wait a minute, what is this? Well, what this is, I'm pretty much convinced, this is an in-house prototype. See, there were official prototypes released along with the runs, like that 42SS I have up there. Then there were these unofficial in-house prototypes, which were built for various purposes, to see what the marketing team might like, for example. Hey, do you think we can sell this? Or research and development prototypes to, for example, test blade grinds, align machines for laser etching, that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure this is a marketing prototype. You can see, obviously, this is similar to the 46 Black 600 and 601, except it's a 47 blade with a serration. The tang stamp is accurate, the handles are titanium, the weight's right, the dimensions are right, but I don't think this was ever intended to see the light. This was simply something Benchmade would have kept in-house. But, of course, over the years, through various collectors, these have found their way out into the marketplace. Blade steel on this one is 440C, so I suppose, were this official, it would be designated a 47 serrated black 601. Just an oddball. I really like this one, because you don't really see anything like this. Next, we have a Benchmade 48 with fuzz on it. 48, as you can see, is a simple flat ground utility blade. This was released alongside the 45 in 1993, and what makes it unusual is it was only produced for a very short time, so there aren't many of these floating around out there. And of course, if you're going to be an obsessive lunatic like me and get everything you can get your hands on, you're going to need a 48 to complete the run. Now, we have the second most valuable Benchmade Balisong ever produced. This is the 49 SPL. 49 is also the brainchild of Rick Thatch. This is a CNC ground double hollow zero bevel Kris, which is a work of technical magnificence. Handles are milled stainless steel again. Everything has been given a very bright polish. The inlays are presentation grade cocobolo. There's the fancy latch again. This one is unique, however. This one has gold hardware, and this is a special touch added by Rick Thatch himself, who personally assembled this knife, probably in 2000 to 2001. The tang stamp on this is also different. Instead of the traditional butterfly, you have the personal monogram of Benchmade's founder. That is number 8 of 25, by the way. Next, we have the 4901, which has a satin finish, presentation cocobolo inlay, fancy latch, milled stainless steel handles. This is a run of 100 pieces. This is number 36 of 100. Next, we have the 4902. 4902 has the Kris with a boron carbide top coat, which makes it look like obsidian almost. Milled stainless steel handles, inlays of carbon fiber, and the fancy latch again. This is a limited run of 50. This is number 35. Next, we have the 4903. Exact same handles as the 43DM. Same fancy latch. Kris blade in 440C. This is number 54 of 100. Oh yes, the SPL and the 01, I believe, are ATS 34 blade steel. Next, we have the 4904. Same boron carbide blade as the 4902. Now we have titanium handles with the orange peel anodized finish. The simpler latch. This is number 14 out of 100. Finally, we have the 4905, which is the simplest 49. We have the standard titanium handles, the Kris blade. This is number 12 of 100. And lastly, we have the final DMO9, the 31 DMO9, with the Devin Thomas Raindrop Damascus, titanium handles, and a pocket clip and a T-latch. And this is also number 20 of 25. So all three DMO9s here, 32, 46, 31, 46, and 42. This is a matched set. They all have the same number, 20 of 25. And that is a pretty impressive feat for a collector. And that's it. That is my Benchmade Balisong collection. I've spent about 5 years assembling this with a tremendous amount of money and a not inconsiderable amount of luck. Thanks for watching, everybody.